says, why, I'm gonna get your hair out of your face because it's like in your face. And then later in the night, it actually meant, I really liked your hair in your face. So A plus B equals the rest of the alphabet.
I don't know what she's trying to say, but she's right. And that's all that matters.
That's right.
We're getting ready to start a new property, and basically the lawn guy quit showing up, which is something I'm seeing very, very common this year, is that the lawn guys stop showing up because they don't know what's going on. So we're still cutting. Get out there, work, take advantage of it, land more clients. It'll be good. It's taller than it looks. This stuff's not, but then you got the clovers. They're about 6 inches. That over there is about 8 inches. And we got about 8 inches high on this poana. And if you don't know what poana is, it's this little stuff right here, and it's got all these little seed pods. I could be wrong, let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe this is poana. And it's just not very fun. Not very fun to mow, not very fun to weed eat. It looks good when it's cut flush. Let's go take a look at the back. I haven't looked at the back yet. Not too bad. This is in the older section of town, and actually in the suburb that I was talking about dropping off last year. I decided to keep this suburb until I know a little bit more about how the year's actually going to play out. I'm hoping for the best, but planning for the worst. Alright, so I am excited to get back to doing some of these videos. It's been a while since I've been in here and actually editing some. So in January I went like crazy and edited like 23 or 24 videos that month, and I mean that was cool. It was fun. I don't know if I got burnt out or what, but I started a painting job, an interior painting job in February, and just didn't want anything to do with editing a video. And I think for the most part, to be honest, it threw me off my groove doing that painting job because it's different pacing with the work. So I was expecting to be done with the job in like 7 to 14 days, but in reality it took 5 weeks, man. So over a month. And I mean, we weren't able to work every day and weren't really able to work long hours, and it's just different than landscaping. So it threw me off my groove. But along the way, you know, I was kind of hanging out in the community. I was watching other people's channels, and you know, so it wasn't like I fully checked out. I just kind of took a break for myself. So some of the things I've been on was I got to be on a podcast with Jesse James on his Life and Lawn Care podcast. Justin over at Forever Self-Employed YouTube channel did a collaboration video with us. That was pretty cool. And then I do got to give a couple shout outs because there's a couple guys that are just on me about getting and making more videos, right? And if it wasn't for those guys, I probably would have just, like, I don't know, been hit or miss the whole way, right? Which I feel like I am sometimes. But you know, I mean, the reality is we're all busy, we're doing stuff. This is secondary, and I did make a video stating that we got income coming in from the channel. By the way, we're at $137 that we've collected so far. Or I'm going to say it's theoretical money right now. It's floating in the air. I don't know how to get to it. And I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to let it build up and do its thing, I guess. But I guess it's there, and I'm still not sure how it works. YouTube takes 50%. Anyways, so Glenn Evett, might be Evett, I'm not sure. Glenn Evett, he's a truck driver. Give him a big shout out in the comments because those are the guys keeping the country rolling right now. So big thanks to Glenn for also staying in and letting me know you were wanting some more videos, as well as Jay with Jay's Crazy Cut. I know for a fact this guy has watched every one of my videos. He has commented on every one of our videos, and he sent me a text message the other day saying, dude, I got DTs, can you please put out some more videos, something along those lines. Or I say the other day, it was about a month ago, month and a half. So, you know, I mean, it's just taken me a while. But I really wanted to talk about the job, and instead I'm getting caught up in nonsense. So what's going on here is the grass was a little bit high. It's the first cut. You did notice the new mower, man. We've got the Ferris, a 61 inch, and this thing is awesome. I didn't expect to be able to use it on as many properties as we have. I'm pulling out the 36 because we can't fit the 61 in the backyard. I also do a double pass on the front yard with it. Anyways, and I stopped what I was doing because I noticed James. If you look at the spot where I'm actually standing, you can't really see it in the video, but it's about an inch and a half, 2 inches higher. It's not completely flush. So I'm pointing this out to him, and the reason being is I showed you guys the Poana. That stuff's really, I don't know how to describe it. It just wants to twist up in the weed eater. It's not a very good grass to weed eat. So I'm kind of showing him going around the rocks. Don't weed eat one-handed. It's not a good way of doing it. But, I mean, you get used to it, you can keep control. But here I am. I'm coming in. I'm using basically the front 2 inches, inch and a half of the string, and I'm cutting it flush, and I'm making sure it's 100% flush. So I'm showing him that. The other thing is he was jogging the throttle. Wom, 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 wom. And it's okay to jog the throttle when you're like close to, say, the base of a plant, a bush or something. And it's so that you're not smacking the string hard on the flesh of that plant. But you don't want to do that the whole lawn. It just doesn't make sense. It's better to have consistent pressure. Now, I don't go full bore and go 100% full throttle. Most of the time I'm somewhere in the range of 25 to 50% of power on the weed eater, and I'll go up or down on that portion depending on if I need more strength from the weed eater to cut through something. And then I do jog the throttle when it comes to situations like I said with an obstacle where I don't want to smack the obstacle and tear it up, and like a base of a tree or something. You can lightly throttle, just jog it, wah, 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 while you're going around. And what that's going to do is prevent you from hitting that string on it too hard. So that's just kind of what I was showing him. And then I'm letting him get back to it. I'm in the process of training him. He's picking it up, and it just, he's not slow paced. He's picking it up pretty well. He's slower than what I'd like, but I have to remember I've been doing it for a long time and he hasn't. And, the guys that I've had working with me off and on for the last several years, they had a lot of experience doing this. So coming into the backyard, and I'll get back onto the Ferris in a minute, but coming into the backyard, we're using the 36, and I'm going to cut the perimeter. It's pretty soggy back there. We've been getting a lot of rain this spring, so when the heat kicks in, it will be a very, very nice mixture for good grass growth. So it's a good thing we're essential in Oklahoma. But anyways, yeah, I'm using the X mark, and it's cutting up. We've got a lot of leaves. When we get to this time of year, I do not clean up the leaves unless I am charging them a pretty penny. And the reason being is, man, it got left all winter. I can clean it up with about 2 or 3 mows by just pushing them out in the yard and shredding them up. Is it going to look pretty in the process? No, not really, but ultimately it's going to get cleaned up just the same. It's not really going to take me any more time, and it's not going to cost them any more money. So it's kind of mutually beneficial for me and the client. You can kind of look at the yard and just know that it's one that's been neglected for quite a while. And I'll be honest, 100% honest, I actually really like servicing yards like this, as far as like a quick, easy mow. This is a type of yard that throughout the year it's going to grow early in the spring because it's got a lot of weeds. So I'm going to get more cuts out of it than a nice Bermuda yard that kicks in late. The weed eating's not going to be a whole lot in the back. So on those real hot summer days and everything's not really growing, if you look towards the back and you see like this brown ring back there, that's leaves. And grass isn't really going to grow through that. So while I won't get any upsells on fixing up the property more than likely, because they're not going to change how they've been, treating the property, but I will be able to weed eat and mow it real fast. So we'll be in and out on this one in probably less than, I would say, 10 minutes. For sure, less than 10 minutes. But we'll probably be somewhere around the 7-minute mark on this property. So if you watch some of my other videos and you know kind of my pricing structure, then you would know this is a pretty profitable yard, even though it's just weeds. Overall, like I said, I would gladly take these lawns. They're not exactly like the nicest things. I refer to them as a filler lawn, and what I mean by that is it's filling the schedule. So they can't all be pretty, and if they are, hey, you live in a really nice area. We live in a pretty decent area. There's areas of town that are extremely nice, but lawns like this are my bread and butter. And even though they're ugly, like I said, you make money on them just the same. And I think in the beginning I got caught up with this issue of, man, they all have to look pretty or this and that, and I knew that like I was gonna have ugly yards in the beginning, but I wanted to progress and only do really, really nice yards. So I only advertised in these really nice areas, and then I found out I didn't even like those lawns. I'm not saying I don't like servicing really nice properties, but I realized those neighborhoods were just a nightmare for me to be in. And it may have just been a few specific neighborhoods that I was targeting, but those few specific neighborhoods that I was targeting were oftentimes like the worst with the dumbest things. Just neighbors with the harassment, like getting crazy neighbors, which I've had some crazy neighbors recently this year. And if you're still listening, just know there's a video coming up with the guy that actually pulled the machete on me. I've got another video coming up with that guy, and it's good. Now, I don't want to make it sound like the rich neighborhoods just have crazy neighbors, because the reality of it is, no matter where you mow, there's a crazy neighbor lurking around the corner. And it happens in poor neighborhoods too. So I would say real poor neighborhoods, you'll see it more because you get kind of the drug element. And that's not an insult to anybody. That's just saying, like a neighborhood like where I live in, and it's not like super ghetto, but it's like it's not super high class either, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's an older neighborhood, and on the edge of suburban lifestyle, close to a casino. We get a lot of crime. So, I mean, you guys have noticed in the past videos, my truck got stolen in front of my property. Never thought that would happen. I didn't think this neighborhood was that bad. But come to find out, that's pretty common. But I did know for a fact there's a lot of very large drug problem in the area. So, like, I don't like mowing in areas of town. Okay, if you're in the Tulsa area, I don't have any lawns off of Garnett. Garnett, all the way from one side of town to the other side of town, is a no-go for me. Anywhere close to Garnett is a no-go for me. And the Garnett actually stretches from the really, really poor side to the rich side. But for some reason, I've had theft all the way up and down Garnett Street in this area. And I just stay away from that. So, I mean, really, there's like places you just don't want to put your stuff because you don't want to put your equipment at risk. It's your livelihood. And it's going to be something that you deal with. I don't like looking over my shoulder. And even though this is an older section, it's actually a pretty nice suburb. And even in the worst areas of this suburb, I don't really deal with too much theft. Now, having said that, my first weed eater that was ever stolen from me was an Echo 225. And it was stolen out of the back of my truck at the Walmart parking lot in this town. Now, I have to take blame for that because in reality, I should have maybe put it inside the truck or done something a little more. You know what I mean? I just made it too easy. And so the thing to remember with theft is that you just have to do what you can do to make it difficult for them, because if it takes a little longer, it's probably going to be a situation where they move on and progress with their life. A lot of people that are stealing it because it's convenient. Ooh, I can reach in the back of that truck, I can grab that gas can, I can reach in the back of the truck, grab that weed eater, that blower, and then I can go sell it. So if you lose a weed eater to theft, you'll probably never see it again. I can't ever stay on topic with just a lawn. I always ramble on to something else, don't I? Okay, so when I was doing a collaboration video with Justin from Forever Self-Employed. He did a few things that I really liked that I'd like to implement in this channel, and it's just getting you guys involved. The people that make it to this point in the video, it's really awesome that you stick around this far. It's really supportive, and it means a lot. So, stealing it right out of Justin's playbook, what I'm going to do is start calling out a word or a phrase of the day, and we're going to have fun with it. But that way, it's a way of you letting me know you're one of the real ones that stuck around, one of the true fans, right? One of the true supporters of the channel. So anyways, since I stole it out of Justin's playbook, let's go ahead and do Forever Self-Employed down in the comments. Just leave that down there and I'll know you got to this point, and that'll be a great way of returning the favor to him, and making sure his channel gets the credit that's due. So big thanks to Justin for the collaboration video. That was pretty awesome. And then, thank you to Jesse James with Black Fork Lawn and Snow YouTube channel, as well as the Life in Lawn Care podcast for having me on his podcast. That was pretty fun to do. So if you want to go over and listen to that, I'm going to have a link in the description. There was a 2-hour conversation with him, and it's one of those things, like, it was pretty cool. That conversation kind of helped pull me out of the funk that I was in, just getting to talk with somebody about business again, because I was just kind of not trying to hide in a hole, but I was in a hole, you know what I mean? Thank you to all the channel supporters. There's a lot of good things to come this season. Okay, so the aftermath of this, there's a little bit of a cleanup. It looks a lot better now. Certain things I want to mention real quick. We've got all this grass growing, and this is asphalt with shad on it. Chad? The rocks. So asphalt with the rocks, and basically what happens if you weed eat that, you're going to bust out a window or you're going to hit the face. So you either don't weed eat it or you spray it off with Roundup. If you don't have a license, don't do it. I know, all that stuff. Or you can be an outlaw. I'm not condoning that, but yeah. So anyways, we got kind of odd obstacles, but it looks better. That Poa annua, actually, that stuff looks good when it's cut, even though it looks ugly. So it looks good in pictures, but it looks ugly. But yeah, it's cleaned up. We had some leaves there. That'll look good over the next couple cuts. And in the backyard, there's a bunch of leaves from the elm trees, and we'll just shred those up over a couple cuts and it'll look good. And that's it. We're heading out. We're loaded up. It's the first day of the lockdown, and we're just going to do we've got our schedule done. We wanted to get everything done. So we got our schedule done, and we just have some kind of odds and ends stuff we're picking up and cleaning up, and a few people that called us yesterday. We've been continuing to get calls. So we've been continuing to get calls. I'm not too worried about business not picking up. It may not pick up to the same pace, but it'll still pick up. So all that said, I hope you guys like that one. We are out, and we're going to head to the next one. I've stayed off this subject, but everybody's talking about it. I'm going to go ahead and throw my 2 cents in, and let's just do the coronavirus thing. Please don't click off. I swear I'll make it juicy and good enough for you, okay? Adjust and roll with the punches. This just is what it is. Stay focused, stay on point. If you have goals, dude, figure out your goals, what you're going to do as if this wasn't an issue, and then continue to follow the plan for those goals. If anything, scale up on what you're doing. Stop being a puss, don't retract. I'm just going to say, that pretty much says it, right? You don't even know if the virus is real. And if it is real, what can you do about it other than just live your damn life? I'm going to stay inside and wash my hands for the rest of my life. I'm not going to touch anybody. No more poontang for life. It's disgusting. I've germs. Oh my gosh, germs. Just use common sense measurements and you're probably not going to get sick. Wash your hands. I wouldn't go overdo it with hand sanitizer. Just wash your hands. Don't drink after anybody. Don't be eating anybody's ass with your own wife or your girlfriend, alright? Common sense. What do you think? Yeah.
Alright, that's how you stay safe from the coronavirus. Grow your business. I hope you guys do good. I'm out.
And I'm proud to be an American, even though we're quarantined. And I'm gonna take my vitamins and hope it don't get me.